Attention please. Polish flight from London has just landed. Attention please. Let Polish Airlines wish you a nice time in Warsaw.
So this is Warsaw. Here I am standing at the Metropole, a brand new hotel right in the center of the city, and suddenly I find myself remembering an article I read in an English newspaper many years ago. In 1945, the city is dead. It'll take at least a generation to bring it back to life. That's what they wrote. Something like that anyway. And yet... Looking at the city today, I keep on hearing that song.
Pełni są obawy, że pleśnią im ten porasta każdy gmach Warszawy. Ale byłem, sam widziałem, choć tęskniejsza łzawa.
They said that Warsaw is no more. And yet I've been there. I've seen it for myself.
Ale jest Warszawa.
Warsaw is more than 700 years old. We are in the oldest part of the city, on the old town market square. These burgess houses date back to the 70th and 80th centuries. Please take a look at the Negro house. Over the door you will notice a Negro's head. Long ago this was a symbol of overseas trade. This building, the oldest part of which goes back to the 14th century, used to belong to the Mazovian princes. The Mazovsha region of central Poland...
Those houses in the old town district, there are lots of artists in the place, painting pictures of them, and who would ever have imagined that some of the paintings and drawings done in time past would one day serve to guide the architects who rebuilt the district from the ruins of the last war. That's the way it was. And today, the old town has lost none of its old world atmosphere. You'll still meet up with the knife grinders going from house to house. Here they are, calling out to the customers. You can even come across a good old-fashioned tinker, eager to repair your pots and pans. Fouquier's wine 300 years ago and crowded as usual. Up on the first floor, they've got an interesting museum tracing the history of the Fouquier family of wine merchants. And after a glass of wine as an appetizer, what better than a good meal? One doesn't have to go far from Fouquier's. Almost next door, there's the Crocodile Restaurant, one of the best in town. Traditional Polish food, a speciality, and it's very good. Over on the other side of the square, there's a students' club, the Largactyl. This is where some of the local talents made their first steps along the road to fame. The pigeons. The pigeons are as much a part of the old market square as the delightful Baroque buildings. In fact, they're part and parcel of the whole city. And they are the only inhabitants of Warsaw who didn't have to leave it as it was being destroyed back in 1944. Right after the liberation, so the tale is told anyway, when one old woman returned to the ruins, the first thing she did was share the only crust of bread she had with the pigeons. There's a statue of that old lady feeding the pigeons over the door of a house on Piwna Street. Today, the pigeons fly around King Zygmunt's column on Castle Square, too. The column is to commemorate Poland's King Zygmunt Vasa III, the man who moved the capital from Krakow to Warsaw.